Ah, the Singapore property dream. We all know it, right? You buy a slick condo, watch its value soar, and then boom, you cash in. Easy money. But what if I told you that profit, that number you see on paper, might just be a ghost? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the phantom profit trap that catches so many people completely off guard.
Okay, so let's set the scene. You've worked hard, you saved up, and you finally do it. You buy your first investment condo for a cool 1 million bucks. The keys are in your hand, the dream feels real. All right, let's fast forward 5 years. The market's been pretty decent, and you find a buyer. You sell the place for $1,031,245. I mean, on the surface, that looks like a win. So yeah, you're looking at about 31 grand in capital gains. Not bad at all, right? Time to pop the champagne? You've played the property game and won. Or did you? Yeah, not so fast. The hard truth is, in this scenario, that $31,000, that's not profit. It's basically you getting your own money back for all the costs you covered over 5 years. You haven't made a single cent. You literally just broke even. So how on earth is that possible? Well, it's because buying and selling property isn't just about the two big numbers. It is a 5-year financial gauntlet. So let's run through every single little cost that just eats away at your bottom line. And the first thing you really have to wrap your head around is how your money gets attacked from every possible angle. It's the classic death by 1,000 cuts. Just look at this list. It's relentless. You've got costs to buy, costs to borrow money, regular taxes, condo fees, maintenance, more taxes, and then costs to sell. And we haven't even talked about the sneaky cost from your own CPF account. It's a lot. So right out of the gate, before you've even spent a night there, you're down over 28 grand. That's your buyer's stamp duty and legal fees. It's a sunk cost. Poof, gone. You're never seeing that money again. And now for the real heavyweight champion of costs, the bank interest. Let's assume you took a standard 75% loan. Over 5 years, you're going to hand the bank a staggering $70,000. That's just for the privilege of using their money.
Wow.
You think that gorgeous swimming pool and gym are free? Nope. Those monthly maintenance fees, your MCST fees, they add up fast. At $400 a month, that's another $24,000 out the window over 5 years. And just when you think you're finally done, you have to pay to sell the thing. Can you believe it? Between the agent's commission and another round of legal fees, you're looking at almost $27,000 just to get the deal done. Okay, so let's put it all together. Let's see exactly where that so-called $31,000 profit vanished to. This is where we expose the phantom. The math here is actually brutally simple. When you add up every single one of those expenses we talked about, it comes to a massive $220,000. Now, sure, your rental income helps, but let's be realistic. With some vacancy, you probably only collected about $189,000. You see the problem here? And there it is, a net shortfall of over $31,000. This is the actual cash you had to fork out from your own pocket on top of the rent just to keep the property going. That $31,000 profit, it wasn't profit. It was just reimbursing yourself for this loss. So this brings us to a super important idea, the break-even sales price. It's not what you paid. It's the purchase price plus that cash shortfall you had to cover. That $1,031,245, that's your real starting line. Anything below that, and you've lost money. But hold on, the pain doesn't stop there. There are other costs hiding in the shadows, quietly killing your returns. We call them the silent killers. The first silent killer is vacancy. You know, most people think an empty apartment just means you're losing out on rent. Oh, it's so much worse than that. An empty unit is an active hole in your bank account, with money flowing out. Because think about it, every time a tenant leaves, your wallet takes a big hit. You're paying another round of agent commissions, you're paying for cleaning and repairs, and now you're footing the utility bills yourself. It's not just a lack of income, it's a very real expense. All right, now for the second silent killer. And for a lot of Singaporeans, this one is the most confusing and the most painful. It's the CPF negative cash trap. I mean, this quote really says it all. You could sell your condo for what looks like a $50,000 profit on paper and walk away with barely any cash in your hand. How is that even possible? Well, let's follow the money. So when that big chunk of sales money hits, It gets carved up before you see a single dollar. First, the bank takes their cut to pay off the loan. Then, you have to put back every dollar you took from your CPF. But here's the kicker. You also have to pay back the interest that money would have earned if you just left it in your CPF account. In this case, that's another 32 grand that goes back to CPF, not your bank account. After you pay the agents and lawyers, the actual cash left over can be, well, pretty disappointing. So, after hearing about this entire gauntlet of costs, you gotta be asking yourself, is there an easier way to get into the property market? Let's do a quick comparison with a popular alternative. On the one hand, you've got the private condo. Yeah, it gives you high leverage and the chance for big gains, but it also comes with massive entry costs and the constant headache of managing tenants and the building. On the other hand, you've got something like Singapore REITs. You don't get that leverage, but your entry cost is tiny, there are zero management hassles, and you can sell in an instant. It's just a totally different ballgame. Which brings us to our final big question. Once you factor in all the hidden costs, the money you pay out of pocket, and that nasty CPF trap that locks up your profits, is your condo really a high-flying investment? Or is it actually just a very, very expensive forced savings plan? Something to think about.